Welcome to Whispers in the Dark, where every shadow hides a secret, and every tale leaves a scar. Here, we unravel the forgotten, the cursed, and the damned. Dim the lights, lock the doors, and whatever you do, don't listen too closely, because some stories don't like being told.
They say the fog in Weshammers doesn't roll in from the sea. It crawls up from the ground, like breath from something long buried. No one remembers when the village was built, or by whom. But we all remember when it disappeared. One night. Gone. Homes full. Food on the tables. Fireplaces are still warm. The only thing left behind was a list of rules, carved into the town's welcome sign. Cracked, weathered, bleeding through the wood like something alive. Rule 1: don't stay past the second chime. Rule 2: if someone calls you by name, don't answer. Rule 3: never follow the footprints, even if they're yours. Rule 4: don't touch the radio, especially in the chapel. Rule 5: if the clock starts ticking backward, hide. My name is Ava Sinclair. Historian, skeptic, and sister to Daniel, who vanished after sending me one last letter. 5 words scrawled on it, barely legible through the dirt and dried blood. I should have burned that letter. Instead, I followed it straight into the mist. Welcome to Weshammers Mysterious. Some places don't want to be remembered. It's been exactly 3 hours since I crossed the Weshammers Bridge. The fog is thicker here, almost deliberate, like it's watching me. I found the chapel, just like in the stories. Tall, rotten, choked in vines. The front door was cracked open like it had been expecting me. And inside? It was worse than I imagined. The radio was still there, dustless, buzzing. I remembered Rule 4. Don't touch the radio, especially in the chapel. But it was calling me, not with a voice, with a memory. Daniel's voice. I swear it was him. It said my name. And that's when I broke Rule 2. I answered. I shouldn't have. There was nothing on the other end. Just breathing. My breathing on a delay. Like I was hearing myself from a place I hadn't been to yet. And then the clock started. Backwards. I ran. Out of the chapel. Out into the fog. I didn't even close the door behind me. But it closed on its own. there's something I need to admit. These rules, they feel less like warnings and more like taunts. Like the town wants me to break them. I don't know if it's me, or if the longer I stay here, the more I start to forget why I came. Daniel's face is slipping from my memory. And sometimes, when I blink, I see my own footprints in front of me. They're leading somewhere. But if I follow them, I'll be breaking Rule 3. I think I already did. The forest behind the chapel wasn't on any map. But my footprints, the ones that weren't mine, led me straight into it. And I followed. Because the deeper I go, the more the rules start to make sense. Not logically, emotionally, like they're carved into my bones. The trees here bend inward, like they're leaning in to listen. And then I found it, half buried in mud, wrapped in oilcloth. A journal. Elrig Vane. March 11th, 1974. If you find this, it means the fog let you in. If you're reading this, it might not let you leave. He'd been here before. A surveyor, supposedly. But his entries get stranger, more desperate with each page. Day 4, I heard myself calling from the trees. I didn't go. Day 6, I followed the wrong footprints. They led me back to my tent, but the stars had moved. Day 9, the radio won't stop. It says I died in 1931. The last entry chilled me. Day 13, I think the fog copies us. Makes versions. There's another me in these woods. He walks like me, breathes like me, but he never blinks. If he sees me, I'll forget who I am. If I become him, burn this journal. I'm not alone. Something just moved, 5 feet to my left. It didn't run. It didn't speak. It just watched. And it was my height. This place doesn't want me to survive. It wants me to become something else. Maybe Daniel didn't get lost here. Maybe he became a version of himself that could never leave. I'm keeping the journal. Because if I lose my mind, I want something to prove I was ever real. And now, I hear the clock again. But there's no tower in sight. What if the clock isn't real? What if it's me, ticking down? I haven't seen the sun in days. Not really. Only a dim glow behind the fog, like it's trying to pretend it's daylight. I tried to track time using Elric's journal, but some pages I don't remember reading are filled with my handwriting. I woke up with soil on my hands today. But I don't remember digging. I don't remember sleeping. And that's when I saw her. She looked just like me. Same jacket. Same hair. Same eyes, but empty. As if something hollow had learned to wear my face. She stood between two trees, tilted slightly to the left, head low, watching. She didn't move. But I swear, I blinked once, and she was closer. I found the trapdoor beneath the bell tower. It wasn't locked. Just waiting. It led to a tunnel. Stone walls. Stale air. And markings. Hundreds of markings scratched into the rock, each one a name. Some were familiar. Some were mine. There's no wine down here. But something is moving. I can hear it breathing. And then the voice came. An unknown voice begins to speak. You followed your name too far, Ava. Now it doesn't belong to you anymore. Who are you? I said. I am what's left when the rules fail. I am what remembers. You broke them, didn't you? The radio listened. The chime counted. And now the fog has claimed its shape. You think you came here looking for your brother. But you were always here. No. That's not true. I followed the letter. I remember. I hear soft whispers saying, memories are stories we tell ourselves to survive the rules. Your brother left his story behind. Now you're leaving yours. Follow the tunnel. Or turn around and forget this ever happened. You only get to choose once. I should have turned back. But I didn't. Because the tunnel opened into something else. A room. Circular. Walls covered in mirrors and blood and names scratched over names. And in the center? A cradle. Rocking on its own. AVA. Inside was a second journal. Not Elric's. It had my name on it. But not the name I use now. Ava Sinclair. Day 19. I think I've finally caught up to myself. But she's faster now. Hungrier. She's in the tunnel behind me. And if I turn around, I'll forget everything. But maybe, That's the only way out.
Thank you for listening to Whispering in the Dark. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to Haunted Mansion Stories for more chilling tales from the shadows. Every listen, comment, and follow helps us keep the darkness alive, one whisper at a time.